Hey everyone, Jacob Salem, President of Social Media Relations at ZIGLAR International. I'm so excited to be coming to you today because Michael Newman, who is the President and CEO of ZIGLAR International, invited me to talk to you real quick about the 4 cylinders we use to grow social media platforms globally. You see, when Tom Ziglar reached out to me, he had right around 1 million likes on Facebook. Tom mentioned to me that he wanted to learn how to turn 1 million likes into $1 million. And I told him instantly, Tom, I have your answer. The 4-cylinder system. When I got out of college, I had a 93 Geoprism. It's a 4-cylinder, right? One thing I learned about a 4-cylinder is they're pretty slow. And if you have just one cylinder misfiring, you're not gonna go anywhere fast. Here's one thing I wanna tell you about social media. Social media is not meant to make you rich overnight. So every time I see my competitors out there that are photoshopped in front of a helicopter or an airplane or on a runway or in front of some big yacht telling you that they're making $4,500 a day, well, if you click on there, you're going to see that as soon as you click through, you're going to go over to a page that has really no likes or no engagement. Well, we had one piece at ZIGLAR from the moment I took it over, right? And we grew it. We're up to 4 million plus now, and it's growing rapidly, right? We grow anywhere between 15 and 30,000 likes weekly, and that's organically. We never bought a single like. I don't buy likes. It's not what I like to do. I like to find prospects in the region that are going to be interested in buying our product or service. So Tom had the first thing going in this 4 cylinders. We're going to talk about all 4. I'm going to break them down to you here real quick. The first cylinder is that social proof. You need to make sure that the content you have on Facebook is engaging with everybody. When I mean engaging, it doesn't necessarily need to be engaged with everybody who's going to be buying from you. So those on Facebook, they all don't need to be buying from you. But you need that social proof. You need that credibility. So when you get to cylinder 2, 3, and 4, they can come back to cylinder 1 and verify that you are who you say you are. Right? So Mr. Social media guy over here is telling me that he's going to help me make $4,500 a day. When I click into his page and see that he's only got 75 people and no engagement, if you're making $4,500 a day, somebody had to help you get that money. I mean, unless you're in the stock market, the only way to close a sale is human to human, right? And so somebody would be engaging with me if I was actually closing that kind of money. And so we want to make sure you have that social proof. That first cylinder is probably the most important cylinder, but that first cylinder isn't necessarily going to make you money. Definitely won't make you money unless you have 2, 3, and 4. So cylinder number 2, targeted ads. I had the privilege of studying with Facebook directly. Facebook had a program called Facebook Go. And in their program, Facebook Go, I was working directly with them. They had coaches out of Phoenix that were teaching me the back end of Facebook, showing me the who, the what, the when, the where, and the how. And what I've done is I've taken that knowledge and I've used it and implemented it for, as we mentioned, companies globally, right? So that it doesn't matter whether you're the smallest mom and pop or the largest CEO, we can work with you directly to help you generate the leads you need. All you have to do is tell me what you've used the last 10 years. Tell me the things that were working. Because even though they're not working now, I can take them, I can make them digital. We can put them in this 4-cylinder car and we can help generate those leads again. We can help raise your bottom line. So from your ad, you're going into cylinder number 3. In cylinder number 3, you're coming to a landing page, a squeeze page, ClickFunnels. There's so many different terms now for what an opt-in is, right? But ultimately, we're trying to collect some information. In the old days, we'd send out flyers. We would send out mailers. Now these mailers, we would go post box to post box, right? You're mailing to an address within a zip code, and chances are, if anybody's like me, when I get little flyers in my mailbox, I know exactly what trash can they're gonna go in as I walk back to the house. They don't even get enough credibility anymore to make it in the house, right? Back in the day, you would take them, and when you would take them, you would actually get them in, and you would hope that you'd be able to they would write down their name and their number so you could follow up. So now we have these opt-in. We need them to opt in. So you got to make it, I mean, it's got to be branded good. It's got to look like you know what you're doing. So that's okay to outsource that and hire good companies for that. So you need this 3rd cylinder because we're collecting information, right? And in order to collect that information, we need to give something away of value. And what I mean by that is a discount code or a PDF or a free video. It's going to be completely relevant to whatever industry you're in. And after they opt in, so now in cylinder 3, when they're opting in, we need to send them into email marketing. This is where you're going to nurture Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, allowing them to learn more about you, your business, and your industry. And if you do that effectively, you're going to be able to take them from Mr. or Mrs. Prospect to Mr. or Mr. Client. And Mr. or Mr. Client is going to be able to stay with you forever because they're going to stay on that list. And for free or very, very cheap, you're going to be able to nurture that lead and follow up with them again and again and again. We can create campaigns to get them to their first sale, and based on their first sale, we send them into a different campaign. And after they buy into that campaign, we're going to send a follow-up campaign and a survey and a referral request. All of these things can be done via email marketing, and when you do that, you're going to get the highest rate. Let me just give you one little tip about email marketing that's changed. In the 90s, email marketing had just come out. In the 90s, we were getting a 90 to 100% open rate. And that's because at that time, it was the thing. Everybody wanted to get in, they wanted to get to the desk, and they wanted to open their emails. Nowadays, there's so much junk coming across email. You need to make sure that your copy is scripted correctly, that your subject lines are scripted correctly, and more importantly, you want to make sure that you're bringing value. Because if you're not bringing value in what you're doing, you're going to end up in the spam folders. Again, Jacob Salem, President of Social Media Relations at Zig Ziglar International. You can contact us at zigziglarinternational.com. I would love to talk with you personally.